10 things I wish I had known when I was younger. Question: what is the difference between school and life? Well, in school, you learn a lesson and then you take an exam. In life, you take an exam when you learn a lesson. Time has a way of making it clear, of revealing of what is important and helping us to see that most of what we thought was the stuff of life of smoke and mirrors and fleeting vanity. Time also has a way of making us think whether we like it or not. We look at ourselves in the mirror one day and realize we look at our parents and wonder how it happened overnight. We look at our children and see all the things we wish we had done differently as parents. And yet, all we do is live forward and pay it forward. This is why older people like to give advice. It's a way of convincing ourselves that all of our mistakes and missteps and hard-won lessons in the fire were not in vain. If we can shine a ray of light or point our cane in the right path for the person, then we feel better. We know we have a purpose. Although I don't walk with a cane and hardly consider myself older, maybe, but never old. I like to realize the things that I wish I had started to understand and do while I was younger. While I do sometimes lament and wish for a better life, as many of us do, it is often fleeting and passes quite quickly. Part of it is because I finally found myself in the right place in life and took a lot of trials, tribulations, and shortages and disasters to get there. It is easy to look back in hindsight and wish that if you had better or other information, less fear or ignorance, or better advice, that things turned out differently. I know now that I am richer for my experiences, good or bad. I probably wouldn't have been any other way. This doesn't mean that I shouldn't keep learning and growing, but as I continue to grow by learning from those I met in my path, here's what I wish I had known when I was younger. Number 1. Focus less on the destination and just enjoy the trip. Before we really tap into it, please let us know in the comments below, what do you wish you knew when you were younger? Hit the like button, sub button, bell button. Let's get back into it. When I was younger, I was so focused on the trees that I couldn't even see the forest around me. It's funny how every exam in school is like the end of the world. It's as if your life is put on hold until the end of the review period. When you become an adult, you find other ways to stay stressed and focused with work commitments, and your studies are almost like a gentle breeze in comparison. In the end, we remember the journey more than the actual goal that now seems smaller or even stupid. If you're always focused on the destination, life will pass you by and you'll never get it back. There will always be a new destination once the old one is reached. There will always be delays, disasters to manage, and devastation to master. It's human nature to never be satisfied with being in one place. Stop being so hard on yourself. Do the best you can. Know that you're always going to do the best you can. And in the moment of when you do it, you cannot change the past. It is futile to change to shape the future. But you have this moment to make a choice. Be confident in yourself and your ability to do the best job possible with the resources and wisdoms you have at your disposal right now. The biggest illusion is that you think you're in control. Finding your own voice is more important than imitating somebody else's. As a child, you depended on the guidance of adults to guide and protect you. As we get older, we realize that most adults are just trying to find their way in life just like we do in ours. Listen to your inner voice to guide you even in the face of objections. Your path to mental health, happiness, and fulfillment depends on your courage to find your voice and take action in every opportunity. Those who really have your best interests at heart, who love you unconditionally, will eventually overcome it. They want the best for you. Remember that you're never going to be popular with everyone. It is futile to attempt to think otherwise, and the only real victim is you. It's good to break the rules every now and then. Many rules are in place to maintain law and order. Laws like respect for property and the lives of others, for example, it is in the best interest of all parties involved that these laws are upheld and enforced. But there are other rules that are to shape and conform us. We have each a responsibility to discern which rules are in our best interest and which are not. You are the keeper of your own destiny. Question everything and don't accept most things as absolute truths just because everyone seems to believe it. Never settle for the minimum because you deserve better than that. Life is short. You can never know how much time you have left. This is why it's so important to never settle for the minimum. Don't settle for a loveless relationship, an unhappy marriage, a job you hate, friends you can't stand. You always have this moment to decide. It is painful to settle for the minimum for a year, but it would be disastrous to accept it for a year and a day. Trust your instincts. It's smarter than you. I'm still surprised how many times that I've had a hunch I didn't follow, only realized later that I should have. We are all aware of intuition, but too often we have been taught to rely on hard facts and analysis. Paying attention to your intuition isn't about talking to ghosts, it's just about becoming more aware of your higher self. Animals rely on intuition for their daily survival. Tune into the subtle clues that your higher self is giving you. Maybe it's a bad feeling or a sense of danger. Don't necessarily blindly trust your instincts, but test and challenge them. Don't be in such a hurry. I'm guilty of this. Don't try to live at 100 kilometers an hour. Instead, learn to appreciate where and what you are. Whether you're a child, teenager, an adult, or a parent, be there fully in the moment, because before you know it, time will pass you and you will be in a different time in your life. Most things don't matter. With a few rare exceptions, most day-to-day things you do won't matter in the long run. The earth will continue to rotate, life will continue with or without you, the world will not implode. So don't worry too much. Let that other person cut you off if they're in such a rush. Relax and enjoy the company you have if your meal takes a long time to be served. Smile at the exhausted person venting their anger at you. If you won't remember the incident in 5 years, why would you worry about it now? Forgive quickly, slowly get anger. Past pain and suffering caused by others is insidious and only feeds on itself. Anger and hate not only limit who you can be, but also let you lead to make bad decisions in your life. Forgiving others quickly gives you a sense of peace that no one else can. You won't have everything you want from life, because sometimes it would be bad for you, and you don't really want what's bad for you, and other times you'll just not have what you want. So learn acceptance and satisfaction. And before you complain, take a look around and be thankful for what you have. Remember one thing, the meaning of life is not to have everything you want, but rather to know how to share everything you have and everything you know. In hard times, know who your true friends are. I've had my fair share of friends who weren't there when I needed them, and I also had some amazing friends. Surround yourself with good people is important, because nothing is worse than going through life with fake friends. In order to attract the right people in your life, you have to become the kind of friend you want to have. Most things really don't matter. In case you didn't hear it the first time, the expression "things just got real" is one of the wisest sayings Americans have ever used, and let me tell you why. We use this expression to mean that we're in the situation of either fight or flight, and while in that situation, that is all you think about, and you realize that a lot of things which you thought mattered and thought about, talked about, worked for all your life don't actually mean a thing when in that situation. Which means that 99% of the time we're valuing things that don't actually matter to us. So we depend on those things that just got real moments to show us the reality of things and reset our priorities. I'll leave you with this final thought to digest. So, that's a wrap for today's video. I hope it will help you improve your lifestyle. Let me know in the comments below which of the 12 tips you weren't aware of, and also what's the best life-changing advice you've ever received. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, sub button, and bell button. Have a great day. Take care of your pockets and loved ones. I'll see you in the next one.